apologize for the dog that you're going to be hearing in the background, because Paisley is locked upstairs in my bedroom and I'm doing this before I go up there and let her out. But today's video is inspired by chili for dinner. Not because I'm sharing that, because it's already simmering back there and it's super simple. But chili means the kids won't eat. I don't think Nolan even will eat chili. But me and John will. Making chili, beanless chili for dinner. I got beans to add to it for John anyways. But the leftovers of the chili will be going on our chili burgers tomorrow. So we got the chili going, and I was trying to figure out what to do for the kids. And I didn't want to do chicken tenders because, well, what I have, I plan on using on Thursday for dinner. So I decided I'm going to make these. I've been wanting to do these for a while anyways. No, not this recipe, because I hadn't had a specific recipe in mind. I just found this one, first one I found. It's almost 5 stars. So, anyways, hello, how you doing? We are going to make some homemade ham and cheese hot pockets. These are just called homemade ham and cheese pockets. The kids really like hot pockets. Y'all know that I'm trying to like expand my make at home kind of thing. Did that make sense? I'm trying to do less processed and all of that. Now, not fully no processed, because y'all know we love junk. But if I can make it at home and it's almost as good, sometimes better, it's sometimes better, then why not do that? And the kids had really got on a hot pocket kick. It's been a couple of months, I guess, and I decided I was going to try to make my own homemade. Never did. Nobody's on a hot pocket kick right now, but I'm going to go ahead and make these. These are what they're going to have for dinner. And then I don't know how many it makes. It's supposed to make 8. And then we will put the rest of them in the freezer, because they're freezer friendly, which is what I'm excited about, because I was planning on making some and putting in the freezer so that when they want hot pockets, we've got homemade hot pockets in there. You just pull them out and you microwave them. I think you microwave them just the same as you do store-bought, or you can cook them in the oven. Yeah, microwave for 2 to 3 minutes on high, or bake for 20 minutes. But we're gonna go ahead and get those started, because you do have to make a yeast bread recipe. I don't know how long you have to let it sit, because I've not read the recipe. I just printed it out and came straight down here. And I guess I just had high hopes and went ahead and printed it out instead of like jotting it down messily like I usually do. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get it ready. You have to let it, yeah, it has to rise for 60 to 90 minutes, which having that crock pot going behind it is going to help it rise more beautifully, and it also helps that it is beautiful outside. Like the wind is blowing like something crazy, but we went out and went on a walk, and we actually even got a little hot. Yeah, crazy. But we're enjoying it. I really wanted to clean out like the leaves in the animal yard, but I had hid away one of the rakes, and I think John still got it and took it to work, which is very hateful, because I hid it for a reason, which I don't think I told him not to touch my rake, because technically it wasn't my rake, it was his. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get this dough started here so that we can have these hot pockets done by dinner time, because it's 1:30. So let's go. Also, recipe will be linked down below, hopefully, no promises. And I decided that I was just going to do a voice over this, since I do tend to get like carried away in talking on here, and then I made a video like an hour long when really it needed to be like 15 minutes long at the most, which is weird, because if you know me, I am not a talkative person, and if the few people on here that watch me, that know me in real life, would ever comment, they would back up that. Well, the ones that I know watch me. I know some of y'all are out there watching me that I don't know about, but if they would, you know, come forward, they would let you know that I definitely am not a talker in real life. So it's really weird that I get on here and I just say everything, because I do. But it's like therapy for me, and I enjoy it. Anyways, we're just going to get this recipe going here. I'm not going to share what we thought of them until the end, but it was super simple. I mean, you have to wait an hour, 60 to 90 minutes to let it rise. So that's really the only long part of the process. I let mine sit for an hour. I have started doing this thing where I will put my metal bowl into another bowl filled with warm water, and I think it really helps it We do have like an issue with things rising and stuff in our kitchen because of the way that it's, I guess, drafty and whatever, and we don't keep our temperatures super warm. But after you get it all mixed together, this was my favorite part. I love my bread maker, love it. But there's just something about using your hands and kneading the dough that's just so comforting and relaxing to me. So after you get it all mixed together, you do have to knead this by hand for 5 minutes. I think I actually forgot to time it, but it's fine. It was fine. This is just one of my favorite parts. I don't know why, it is just so relaxing for me, but it is. So we're just gonna get this done, let it sit, and then we will come back and finish it up. When the dough had about, I think it was almost about 10 minutes anyways left to set, I peeked in and it looked like it was definitely going to be doubled by the time the 60 minutes. So I went ahead and preheated the oven and got my little bit of shredded cheese here. You could do slices or shredded cheddar. I wanted a little bit of both, which I think was definitely the right call because it gave it just a perfect flavor. That's the slices. We're going to use 1 slice per pocket. And then you're supposed to use 16 slices of ham. This ended up being 12 of the thin slices, so I just called it good enough at that. I don't want to open the other pack to get out 4. I'm just cutting this up. Now, the recipe didn't say to cut it up. You're supposed to use 2 whole slices per Hot Pocket, but I just don't like when you bite into it if you like drag out the whole entire piece of meat and then you're left with just a cheese bun, which is fine, but you know, you want ham if it's supposed to have ham. So I do often just cut up the pieces, and that way you do still get a bite with every bite. So now we're just going to take the dough and divide it into 8s, and then we will roll it out like we're supposed to. And it was at this point when the True Toni came out, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna roll these however I want to roll them. They were supposed to like have the edges pressed like you would with like a hand pie. I didn't want to do that, so I just rolled mine out into like a really big circle, pretty much ish. And then I would put in half my cheese, some of my ham, the other half of my cheese, and then I just rolled it up into a square. It did make like the bottom a little thick, but it didn't mess with it at all. Everybody liked them. Okay, I wasn't gonna tell that to the end, but obviously I have problems doing that. So everybody liked them, and nobody complained about them being too thick or anything like that. So it works. I just took a little bit of water and ran it around the entire edge of it as I folded it up and then sealed it together. And like I said, it worked really well. when I make them again, I will definitely just do this exact same thing because we liked the turnout of them this way. And I didn't want to waste an entire normal size egg for this recipe. This is where my ℬ𝕤 chickens come in very handy. I just used a ℬ𝕤 egg. It's still an egg nonetheless, but it's like half the size. So I'm not wasting as much this way. I still did waste a little bit because it was too much for this recipe. But you just make an egg wash with some milk. I used heavy cream and egg, and then you know the drill. You just brush it on like your Bob Ross or whatever. And then I did also top mine with a little bit of fine sea salt as well. Goodness gracious, I can't talk. And then you're supposed to take a sharp knife and cut little slits, and I just got a knife that I felt was sharp enough and just poked down into it, each one 3 times. This is to help vent it. And then we're going to add on our egg wash, bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. I baked mine for 20. I thought I would peek in at 20, and I did, and they was done. So I went ahead and pulled them out. And since I was a little lazy with the edges, it wasn't like a complete egg wash on them. Next time I'll try to be a little, maybe, no promises. Might be a little bit better about doing the sides, but these was really good. Nobody complained about them. And I even shared with my neighbor. She said those better than store-bought. Nolan said those better than store-bought. So I call that a win. Everybody liked them, and I'm pretty happy with how they came out. Like I said, the bottom is a little thick. We might work on that next time, or we might just call it good enough and leave it. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, remember to show grace, be content, and live blessed. Until next time, bye friends.